We're playing the Castlegar Fire Challenge in Airport Madness 3D Volume 1. If you haven't tried this, give this challenge a whirl. It's not like the other challenges you find in this series. This is not a complicated airport. Castlegar Airport is one runway, and everybody comes in on the base leg or the downwind leg. But what is complicated about it is that we have a little problem on the west side of the town. There's a fire on the west side of the town, on the hill there, and it's growing. And it'll eventually overtake the town. And so we've got this tanker base. We've got these 3 fueling spots, and the airplanes, they load up on not just fuel, but also fire retardant. So they have to load up on all this. They take off, they overfly the fire, and they dump fire retardant on the fire. So as I mentioned, this fire grows over time, but every time a plane drops a load on it, it knocks the fire down. And if you play at an average pace, you will keep up with the fire's growth. But if you play at an above average pace, you will actually get ahead of the fire and eventually put it out. And if you're good, you could probably get it out in 15 or 20 minutes. So we have this fire problem, but in addition to that, we actually have a live passenger terminal building that's running. There's passengers, and they got to get to Hawaii and stuff like that. Are they the priority, though? I don't think so. I think the passenger operation must come second to the fire operation. So we are going to do everything we can not to delay the departure of these tankers, and we're going to do everything we can not to delay the arrival of these tankers. So this is where the strategy comes in. This is where this airport actually starts to feel complicated. I'm taxiing these 4 passenger airplanes out right now because it makes sense. They're not going to be delaying anybody. But in a few minutes, when the tankers come back in and they're waiting in line to load up with fire retardant, these 737s, they're going to be in the way. So we just have to resist the urge to push tin and just try to keep the tankers moving as quickly as possible. All right, so far so good. I think I can get 1 airplane out. Oh, almost overlooked. I've got an airplane landing. I've given this 737 an immediate takeoff. I think that works. This King Air is going to wait. That's just how it is. Notice how I'm speeding up all these tankers. In real life, they'd be going as quickly as they could. But in Airport Madness, the pilots, they're all a little dumb, and we need to give them a little prompting. Oh, here's an arriving passenger King Air. We're going to make sure they are number last. I'm going to widen their approach. Yeah, they might have to fly around for a little while. We'll just see how this goes. So this might seem somewhat implausible that there'd be this big fire. But in fact, this happens all the time in British Columbia, Canada, as well as places like California. You name it. There are lots of places on the planet that have forest fires. And every year, British Columbia, Canada, tries to burn itself down. And every spring, the tankers are training. They'll come to my real-world airport, and they'll pretend the airport's on fire, and they'll bomb it. They'll come in and they'll try to drop water on a very specific point on the runway, and that's their practice. I'm just not going to be able to get any of these departures out, these passenger departures, yet. I'd like to push back this 737, but they're going to interfere with the arrival of these 4 tankers. So I want them to have a chance to come in, fuel up, get out, and then we'll blast off a bunch of passengers. This level is special to me for a couple of reasons. For starters, when I was 20 years old, I arrived at my first air traffic control tower. It was called Penticton, British Columbia. And it was precisely this scenario when I was there. We called it the Fire of 94. And it was the east side of the town that was on fire. And we were doing evacuations, and we had to prioritize the tankers in every way possible. And sometimes the airport would get NOTAM'd, which means they would close the airport and say firefighting only. But in Airport Madness, you do not have that luxury. The show must go on, and we'll just remember who we're prioritizing. Has anybody seen the movie Always? 1989, Richard Dreyfuss, Always. It's kind of a cheesy romance, but I loved it because I love airplanes, and airplane lovers will forgive a lot of things in a movie in order to see some cool flying sequences. And this movie was loaded with it. And let me just get some planes taxiing here, and then I'll talk some more. How's that sound? I really want to get these tankers moving. Okay. Let me show you something. Here is the coolest tower in the world. Are you ready? Check it out. That is awesome. The coolest air traffic control tower in the world. Look at that. I would love to work in that tower. Maybe not in the winter, but definitely in the summer. Okay, I'm kind of breaking my rule here. I've got tankers waiting for a silly passenger jet. Tisk, tisk. Let's get this guy going. Let's get this guy going. Let's get this gal going. Tell him to expedite off. All right. I'm going to get some passenger traffic going here because there appears to be a break in the action. Now is a strategic time to flesh out some of these silly passenger planes. You see how these airplanes, they hold themselves up and they get all tangled and delayed from each other? We can't let that happen with the tankers. This one that's departing here, this pretty red one, DC-10, I programmed it so that it packs a double punch. So we have 5 tankers, and they'll each do their part to hit the fire, but the DC-10, the big one, it packs a double punch. If it drops its retardant load on a fire, it'll really take a bite out of it. We can't let these airplanes sit ever. Never. Do not let them sit in line for takeoff. Pull planes up if you have to. All right, who's coming in here? Looks like a Dash 8's coming. Okay, they're fairly slow. We should have time to get this CL-21 airborne before they arrive. Let's watch the show here to the east, folks. We've got a DC-6 followed by a DC-10. Watch what happens. As it overflies, it's going to drop its red fire retardant. There it is. And witness the fire shrink as that happens. All right, it's beautiful. Why is the retardant red color, do you think? Any ideas? Anybody know why they would make the retardant red? Why would they do that? Well, the reason is that if it's a windy day, and let's say the wind is blowing the retardant off to the left side of the target, and airplane after airplane is continuously missing to the left, then the subsequent bomber can look and say, oh, everybody appears to be missing the target. I shall alter my course to the right to hit my target properly. So that's kind of the idea. All right, is now a smart time to get some of these folks moving? Yeah, let's go for it. Let's get them out of here. Even though the next batch of arrivals are on the way, we should have just enough time to clear out the terminal. Come on. I told them to push back. I swear I clicked the button. Yeah. It was the computer's fault, you see. Where have I heard that before? In this game and in real life too, huh? All right, our first tanker arrival. We got to get these jets out of the way because this thing needs to fuel up and get back up there. We've done 9.5 minutes so far, and the fire is still going. We're getting our arms around it though. That's good. It's really good. This is a nice little test of my computer system. I recently did some upgrades and I'm overclocking my CPU. And at any moment, this video could end because my computer shut itself down. We'll just have to see what happens. Why did I feel the need to do that to my computer? Oh, no reason. It's just because it's cool to do that. It's kind of like a muscle car, you know? Why do we do things that give it more power? It's not really essential, but it's fun. I don't normally do things like that to my work devices, but hey, why not, right? All right, let's keep these tankers moving as quickly as we possibly can. Okay, have I got time to get a 737 out? Let's get two of them going. Let's get them both. Let's get two going. We'll make it work somehow. And there's a Dash 8 ready at the terminal, but with this collection of fire arrivals, we'll just keep that Dash 8 at the terminal for now. Ooh, that's looking tight. Ready. Oops. This Dash 8 is wondering, why am I waiting? Passengers are all probably wondering what's going on. Whatever. All right, our big DC-10 is ready to rock. Some of this is not really to scale. I really like this this airplane here, Fire Eaters. That is my paint job, by the way. Pretty nice, huh? 2 strips of red on it. That's about the extent of my artistic ability. Oh no, I had a crash. So I'm going to give this CL-21 just a couple more seconds here, and then I'll get these little guys taxiing out of the terminal. Okay, cleared immediate takeoff. Tell this guy to reduce to final approach speed. Okay, I'm going to get these planes taxiing right about now. So once again, I'm breaking my rule here, holding up a firefighting departure. But hey, we do what we can, right? It's just clearing for takeoff, huh? Look at that. It's beautiful. Anybody here feel the urgency to get these planes moving a little faster? It's very important to me that I break my record. I think my record's 20 minutes. And I know that is by no means the best. Oh, what's going on here? We've got a little bit of an overtake. Don't let them wait. Don't let them sit, folks. Yeah, Stacy just witnessed an explosion at the airport. Very observant, Stacy. You are correct, ma'am. All right. Okay, this fire is really getting under control now, but we can't stop. We got to keep things moving. I think now is a good time to get these folks going too. I am in the habit of telling these tankers to go just as quickly as they can. Look, the fire grew. It was smaller, but then it literally just became bigger in front of my, before my very eyes. Okay, I'm going to try and sneak out this King Air in between these 2 arrivals. Watch this. Cleared immediate takeoff. The chances of this working are about 65%. That's pretty much my standard. Yeah, I sure wasn't going to get that Dash 8 out, that's for sure. That worked pretty well, though. Let's try that again. It worked. 737 is ready for taxi. You can just wait, sir. So this fire is nice and small now. We could almost squash it. But we need just a few more tankers in the air. And unfortunately, where are they? They're all landing. They are all landing, and they have to taxi around and fuel up, and that's going to take forever. So by the time they're back in the air hitting the fire, it'll be bigger. So that's the problem, is sometimes you just can't seem to get ahead of it. All right. I think for the rest of this game, the passenger traffic can just sit there. I think we're just going to stick to our priorities. So where's our next bomber? We could sure use one more bomber right now. Gosh, we got nothing. We got nothing. The next thing to drop a load is going to be this DC-10, this Fire Eaters. They're still taxiing in. Oh, what a bummer. Oh. We'll get it done. We got 4 tankers all taxiing in. They'll load up, they'll go, and then I think that's going to clobber the fire. That's going to be my strategy. Yeah, this game, it does bring back memories of being a 20-year-old air traffic controller. Back then, I did not know the difference between an airplane and a dishwasher. I was so new. I don't know why they gave me a license. That's funny. But, oh well, it all worked out in the end, and I'm still doing it after all these years. It's a lot of fun controlling airplanes. You know, I could do something like go into management, but I like to be one of the troops in the trenches. I like dealing with the planes. It's fun, you know? Okay, let's get some of these tankers going quick. Look at these split. Yeah. Annette says, this zero delays initiative is nonsense. I came up with this initiative, the zero delay initiative. It sounded ridiculous enough when I invented Airport Madness. It sounded like, well, you've probably noticed that in Airport Madness, there's no such thing as safety. All the tweets and all the news is about trying to make planes go faster, trying to run separation tighter. And it's never about safety. It should be about safety, but it's always about how can we do it faster? That's kind of what's funny to me, because I know that in real life it doesn't work that way. In real life, it's all about safety. And planes will wait in real life. But not in Airport Madness, no way. So the zero delays initiative, it sounds like something ridiculous that a mayor would promise their people. Okay, tankers in the air. The fire has grown, and I think we're going to be on top of it in another minute or so here. Might not break my record of 20 minutes, but hey, that's okay. So now would be a good time to get some of these commercial aircraft on their way when they're going to be least disruptive. All right. Let's speed up this passenger aircraft so we can get this one last tanker going. Okay, here we go. The big one is on approach to the fire. This one should extinguish it, and I should get the trophy. There's the retardant, and there you go. Fire is out, folks. We did it. Congrats. You extinguished the fire in 20 minutes and 9 seconds. Ugh. Let's submit that score. Let's make it a more fun name than that. There we go. Rogerio. And how did I rank? Let's take a look here. And there we are at the bottom center. I've got the fire achievement. Right on. Maybe I'll hang that over my fireplace. All right. Thanks so much for playing. Give Castlegar a whirl, and I'll make another video real soon.